Alright guys, let's take a look at this multiplayer reveal for Modern Warfare 2019 in 2020, because I'm about to review this game today. So let's take a look and see what this game was all about. So here we are in Azure Cave, night version of the map. We see someone creeping through the doors. We got some action-packed shotgun gameplay, people getting knifed in the throat, the ability to turn off the lights, which you can't do in multiplayer. We got a heartbeat sensor, which no one uses in multiplayer. And we have the Wilson, which is garbage, night vision, mode, here and there. Oh, a Freitas Bridge. Everybody hates this map. Doesn't play anything like this reveal trailer. That's actually correct. People sniping. But imagine it's just both sides sniping. That's probably a bit more accurate to what is happening on this map. Honestly, I don't think I've played this map since launch. I tried it out and I was like, nope, not my cup of dick. Oh, look at calling in a precision strike. And just so you guys know, just airstrike rarely kills anybody on that map. Ooh, gun runner. An actual decent map. Does not play as fast-paced as they're trying to indicate here. And then we see some people trying to breach. No one does that. Obviously, a lot of stuff that you see in this, no one does that. A juggernaut. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody gets that. We have to get, what, 15, 17 kills? Your average player. I'm average. I'm lucky if I get 12 or 14 kills in game. So that's not happening. We are not seeing that. Browsing the raid. Super duper ultra campy. No movement. People just hide. You just don't see those tanks. I think I've called in one, and they get just absolutely demolished in just mere seconds. And we got a Joker coming in. No one ever runs launchers, so that's unrealistic. People do use Kruger, so that is true. We can look at this. This is fucking fantastic set piece. All this action. There's so much action in this multiplayer. To be honest, that's probably more action than what most people are gonna actually experience while playing this. But before we get to my actual review, let's take a look at the developer's live stream. Has something very interesting in it. Let's take a look.
Says Black Ops 4 was pretty much you destroying another team or being destroyed by another team. Is the balanced matchmaking a priority for Modern Warfare?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things we really want to do with this game is we want to get new players in the game, and we want them to kind of like, we don't want them to just get punched in the mouth over and over again until they leave.
True enough.
We want a healthy ecosystem. We want a lot of players in and having fun, and that's a big focus for us. It's a big focus for us in weapon design. It's a big focus for us in level design. Our weapons are a bit more lethal than they were in the Black Ops, the recent more Black Ops, and that helps a lower skill player get a kill when they otherwise wouldn't, have some success, and then feel like now there's a desire to get better and to get another kill. Our maps are a little bit more porous, and we want those players to have a safe place to take their time, to learn how to turn and move and then shoot, put those pieces together, and then they see someone and be like, oh, okay, now I can do this. So yeah, it's a big focus for us.
Well, you heard it first from the developers themselves. They wanted to have a safe space for new people. And, well, let me tell you, they had a lot of safe spaces. Practically every map was nothing but safe spaces. Okay? Every place on this map is a safe space. And just the thought process of what they were wanting to do doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They said, you know what? For new people, they gotta learn how to move, gotta learn how to turn, gotta learn how to shoot. Man, come on. What the fuck do you think the campaign is for? Great campaign, nothing against it. But, like, really? And that's kind of been Modern Warfare 2019 summed up. It's a lot of safe spaces. It is not action-packed. Let me show you how action-packed this gameplay is. I pulled up a map. I went to Team Deathmatch. And Team Deathmatch is the mode I typically and historically have played the most. But in this game, it is such a gosh darn slog to play. It is slow. It is campy. Practically every map is campy. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. It's okay to camp. I know some people hate it. It is a viable tactic to play. And if you paid your $60 or what have you, you play however you want, as long as it doesn't turn you into one of those cheating assholes that have plagued Warzone. It is a viable tactic. But the interesting thing about it is in every Call of Duty, you had the option to play almost anything you wanted to play. You wanted to be super aggressive. You wanted to rush. You wanted to get your balls right in the enemy's face. You could do that. Or maybe you were maybe you wanted to play a bit more tactically. Maybe you didn't have the super fast reflexes, so you took up a position to tactically watch a line of sight. You could do that. Both options were viable. Or maybe you were kind of a hybrid. I would say I'm like a route guy. I patrol. I go to a specific area. I go around it. Looks clear. Maybe I find some people. And after a while, guess what? I move on to another section. That's how I play. Sometimes it can become very aggressive. Other times it can just feel like I'm camping. But that is the thing about Call of Duty. You had those options and they worked. You weren't forced. And that's really the key thing here, is that when you play Modern Warfare 2019, you really do feel forced to play this way. It is just a very frustrating game to play. Frustrating enough that I played 16 hours. So, you know, there's some tidbits of this game that I like, but overall the maps is probably predominantly the biggest issue I and most people had with the game. It encouraged camping. You throw in special things like you can mount your gun so you don't have to worry about that recoil. Frustrating. You have doors. There's just so many goddamn doors. Tons of doors. So this whole game was made to be very safe, and I don't like that approach to making a multiplayer game. And I think we really need to think about the game itself. Call of Duty has always, I would say since Call of Duty 4, has mostly been about an arcade shooter, twitch, fast, reflexes. That's just been the game. Very smooth, bare minimum of 60 frames per second, really fast, quick, fun to have. You know, there are games like Battlefield where you did put that more tactical approach. You know, the games were a lot longer. That was the game itself. And then you had Halo, you know, where the gunfights just took longer because you had to land more shots. You had to be more accurate. But each game had its own style. And for me, Call of Duty is kind of suffering from this identity crisis. You know, you have all these new games. You had Overwatch come out just right around the time when we had, I believe, Black Ops 3 and then Black Ops 4 try to adapt that type of system of gameplay with ultimates, and honestly, no one really liked it. No one liked having just like a free kill streak. You just waited 60 seconds or what have you to use it. And it was very frustrating with people that were lower skilled having that, killing someone who was a better player, which we're going to jump into here in a moment. But the thing is, you have a gameplay, you have a core gameplay that people like. Now, I know that the Call of Duty community's kind of been divided over the years. Ever since Advanced Warfare, you have the folks who are like, you know what, I do like the jetpack. I like running on walls. I'll tell you guys, I like running on walls, and I like jetpacks. But there are folks who like the more boots on the ground approach. And guess what? I like that too. I like Call of Duty is what I'm saying. I fucking like this game. But there's been a lot of issues with the game trying to find... It's kind of silly to say it's trying to find its way. Like, it had its way, but it's like, I need a change. You don't have to fucking change. You got pizza, right? I'm sure someone out here has had a pizza. They like pizza. You know, you have a specific pizza you like. It just works. And there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to go out of your way and say, you know what? This pizza needs to have a hoagie sandwich on it. And it also needs an omelet on it. You know, I like those things, but, I just maybe want a fucking pizza. God damn it. Make me my pizza. Let me eat it. And that's really where the community is and the identity crisis with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. But this is a review. So is Modern Warfare 2019 any good? And it's so hard to quantify. Like to throw a number on it, I'd say, actually it isn't that hard. 6 out of 10. That's how I feel that Modern Warfare is. But it's 6 out of 10 where it could really be, I think, a solid 8 or 9. And the reason I say this is, and it's going to rely a lot on World War II. Now, if you guys remember when that game came out, man, that game was straight dog doo-doo butter. That's all it was. Just a bunch of dog doo-doo water game. Not very great, but it had the potential. And once they promoted those two, I think it was, Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield to customers. Oh no, they were promoted to executives, and then they subsequently quit or whatnot. Once they left Sledgehammer Studios, and this other guy gets involved, I want to say his name was Aaron, and I don't remember his last name. The World War II had this revision, different game, completely different game, and it was really fun, awesome game, because it did what the fans wanted. We wanted a fast-paced claim. We didn't want claim. We wanted a fast-paced game, and we got that. And with Modern Warfare 2019, kind of, I think maybe a month or so in, you had this, I believe her name was Ashley Williams, the senior community puppet mouth, who didn't do that great of a job, not encouraging kind of the way that she was treated by the community, which was not appropriate. People were sending her death threats and just saying real fucked up shit, and that ain't cool. I mean, she's doing her job. She didn't do it right, because she throws out this thing. She's like, oh guys, guess what, we're gonna do this big update and a lot of good stuff coming in that update. And we got that update, and it was horse shit. Okay, let's be honest, straight donkey dick horse shit. That's how that update was. And that's when I knew Modern Warfare 2019 was absolutely never going to be saved. The designers had a vision for this game, and they were not going to budge from that vision at all. That's fine. If that's the way they want to do it, that's the way they did it. We just dealt with it. And I am a person who wanted to give Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 a fair shake, because I didn't give Infinite Warfare a fair shake. And a lot of people said, hey, you know what? After a month, the game actually got really good. I dropped that game after a month. I absolutely detested playing the game. I found it very frustrating. And a very similar experience with Call of Duty Ghost. And there's a trend there. The trend is every game that Infinity Ward has made after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and 3, I like 3, they just have not been very fun for me to play. And I know it's not just me, there's a lot of other folks who just couldn't really get into it. But I wanted to give the game, an honest chance. And I knew hey, this isn't going to be the best game out of the box. It'll take some time. And I've given it a lot of time. 16 days over a course of almost a whole year. So I feel that I'm a bit justified in providing my own analysis and thoughts on the game itself. And we could sit here and really bash the game. Really, I already kind of have on the maps. But, you know, there were some actually great things that Modern Warfare 2019 did. One was the new engine. The graphics looked really good. The gun sounds were good. The gun designs were good. The gun animations were good. The execution system, that was good. The streaks, you know, they were okay, guys. The streaks were kind of okay. And if you guys have been watching this gameplay, like, you know, I'm not chopping this up. I mean, that's a standard team deathmatch game. Didn't even go to the score here, and that's kind of the experience I was talking about. Very slow, and not fast paced at all. The other experience that a lot of people can attest to, if you're playing solo, is the wonderful team matchmaking. Just the balance is fantastic. Here's me jumping into a new game. As we can see, my team is absolutely getting violated. And they're going to have to file that police report. I'll tell you that much. But this is the other portion of the game, is you end up in these lopsided matches where things just are never going to go well. Especially if you're a solo player. You get in these matches so often, and it becomes so tiresome. You guys have no idea. Well, some of you guys probably do, but it just, for me, it is just very frustrating to consistently have to be fighting, you know, U.S. Navy SEALs, and then my teammates are the opposite of the U.S. Navy SEALs. They are the Idaho potato bag team, the garbage. And not saying like I'm an MLG eSport pro, but more often than not, I find myself topping the leaderboard and doing well, and my team just can't pull it. And that's fine. You know, no one's gonna always have the best game. I sure as fuck don't. But it gets frustrating where the balance. I mean, this is me going into this game by myself. And these are the type of matches that you seem to get into. It's just these super one-sided, lopsided matches. And anyone who's average or good can probably attest to this. It's hard. Even if you're, you know, top-tier player, 2, 3 KD, if that matters, it's got to be even worse for them because the game's like, oh, this guy's a fucking god, so he can probably take all these plebs to that W. And it's hard. And that's why it makes it frustrating. So the team-based matchmaking, balancing, whatever you want to call it, sucks. And then you also have, you know, skill-based matchmaking, which has been a very contentious topic in the community. Some people really hate it, and then other people also hate it. So no one really likes it. And we've recently just found out, by recently I mean within the last couple months, that this isn't even something that's driven by the developers. It's not Treyarch, Sledgehammer Studios, Infinity Ward. This is down all the way to good old Activision saying, no, we gonna keep having this shit. And it's so annoying to continually deal with. There's no casual game. And is it to say that, you know, the only games I enjoy are the games where I absolutely stomp on everyone? Yeah, those games are awesome. I love them. We all do. But I don't mind having the competitive matches where you have like 1 or 2 players and you guys are really fighting. Like each of those engagements, you know, could go either way. You know, I like that too. But the matches in this game are just straight up sweat fest. Every person is just doing everything they absolutely can, like they're playing for money, and that kind of gets frustrating. You know, takes away from the ability to use off meta weapons. You can't really fool around too much, and that just kind of sucks. And it's been a big issue in this game. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking on it. It just sucks, and it may have ruined the experience for a lot of different people that were playing this game. But for me, I just dealt with it. I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. But what I do care about is the team balance, and that was just atrocious. Like, spread that love out. Let's have some decent, balanced folks. I would almost say like World War II had it down pretty well. That's why those matches were just like super duper tight. They were just real tight matches. Very close. Because the skill was spread pretty evenly amongst both teams. Not to say you couldn't have those matches where you just popped off, and the other team were, as the kids say, bots. But most of the time, it was dead even. You had some average players you could kill, some really bad players, and you had that one player where you really had to use everything at your disposal to try and win. But those were big pain points for Modern Warfare 2019. I mean, that's really it. I mean, this game, it could have been so good. Could have been so good. But instead, it just kind of mediocre. Nothing super fantastic about it. Just, as a game. You could play it, but, with Cold War coming out, I don't foresee myself ever touching this game. And I will be uninstalling all 5 terabytes of the game because the game takes up, like, literally everything. It only wants to be the only game on your console. And that's it, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.